What's going on, guys? Team Brock here, back with Gav yet again. He just went undefeated 4 events in a row with a super spicy deck. Got a fresh prize card here. I'll let him get into it, and let's go.
Yo, it's good. So, first of all, shout out my sponsor and my team, Top Choice Gaming, and Karan, our team captain and owner of the store, best locals in SoCal. And shout out Alberto and Collectible Exchange for hosting the prize card tournament, where I got my very nice Duel Link Dragon, the Duel Link Dragon card. This week with this deck, I played Marincess. I won a box tournament, I won a mat and the prize card, and I also won a random locals. So I guess that's 4 tournaments I went going undefeated. Should I get into the main deck?
Yeah, super impressive, man, especially with this deck. But, first off, why this deck?
I've always liked Marincess cards. I just like water decks, and making Toad is cool. And with the new support, I've just been testing a lot of different strategies, with Nats coming up. With the new support, this shit has so much gas that is comparable to almost it's definitely a tier 2 deck, but the new gas and lines of play you have, it's comparable to a meta deck.
And I feel like the fact that most people don't know what they do would heavily play in your advantage, right? I imagine there's a lot of people reading your cards over those events.
That's a big part of it. So that coupled with the new support and how much gas it actually has, if you hand trap this wrong even one time, you get severely punished and either die, or I make a board that just establishes an unwinnable game state for my opponent.
All right, sweet.
Which is most of my wins.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so we'll do the main deck. 3 Wu-Tang. On summon, this Foolish Burial is a Marincess monster, and then when you link with it into a Marincess, or any water link actually, it has the Foxy Solomon Great effect where it mills 3, so it's really good for... That effect is just win more, and it's really only relevant for chain blocking.
But it's free as fuck, right?
It's free as fuck.
It's like the Moye draw, it's just free.
Yeah, it's literally. It's just exactly the same. And then 3 Springtail. This is one of the new cards. This is a level 4, and it helps facilitate your Bahamut Shark plays a lot more, because making Toad with your full board and your towers is pretty standard now with how the deck plays. Before this deck, you'd be lucky if you could barely get your towers out, and with the new cards, you search the trap and you get this thing, and you make a Toad. And even if let's say your towers get stopped and you set up all that stuff, you have enough interruption to stun your opponent, and then this deck recurs so much and gives you everything back, that you'll just kill them on their turn and overwhelm them. The deck snowballs really crazy. But anyway, this card is like a Chaos Dragon. It banishes a Princess and just specials, which is incredibly insane. Both of these cards are 1-card starters for your full combo.
All right.
Seahorse. It's not as cracked as the other 2, but also gets you... If you open this and no other engine cards, this also gets you everything you need.
So 9 ways to get everything you need, essentially?
Yes, sir. And plus the sign at minings. Actually, 10 ways, because I'll just show this one. Yeah. This one's also full combo by itself, the Pascalis. I only play one of it, because its effect is very specific. I have to have 2 Marincess on the field and target a Link monster to summon it from my grave or hand.
Yeah, that's wicked situational.
Yeah, so this thing comes out when you're in the middle of big boy full comboing, and you dump it off Blue Tang or whatever you want. 2 Pascalis. This is a Vega. This is only good if you have obviously another card in your hand.
So it's on normal summon, special summon 1 from hand.
Yeah, normal or special summon, which is cracked. So there's a new card in this deck that came out. It's like an E-Telly. You can E-Telly this out and then bring out one of your dudes from your hand and just clap them.
Fire.
And then this card. This is Sleepy Maiden.
Sleepy?
So I'm dog shit at the game, and I went through all these tournaments I did well at, and the prize card tournament all the way to Top Cut, and I didn't even know this had a second effect. So this is an extender. It's just, you target a Marincess card, and you summon it from your hand, and while this is on the field, it can't be destroyed.
But you didn't know that part, or?
That's the part I knew. So
okay.
I just used it as an extender. So when I was comboing off and I had this in hand or had a way to get this, and I used all the other effects, I would just use it as an extender to come out. But it's so good because its second effect says I can banish itself, target a link, and equip it to one of my links. And that's relevant because your new Link 4 that came out with this deck, that you can make a towers with the field spell, it equips to when you make it when you link with the field spell, it equips. And when it has equips, it can negate. So if I don't get access to the field spell, I can still give myself a Yeah, I get it. Well, it's a spell trap negate, but I get a free negate with this if my line of play gets stopped.
Nice.
And I'm bad. I didn't know that till Top Cut yesterday, which is funny. Shout out Ulysses for telling me that I can do that. That's it for the Marincess monsters. 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 3 Rock.
How was that for you?
The Rock is insane because during your normal combo, as by the way, when you make your towers, you are not unaffected by your own cards. So when you nib, you lose your guy.
Yeah.
But it's still really good because I'm not gonna lie, you don't even need the towers to even win. Like this deck wins. Its win con is like snowballing so much advantage and stopping everything your opponents can do that they literally just can't play. So when I set up my towers with and I have a trap, I search the negate plus whatever hand traps I may have drawn plus the toad plus the spell and trap negate, and I stop everything and they still manage to push through, and I just nib them. I'm gonna get all my stuff back because I usually have the Coral equipped to my towers or my boss monster, and the Coral gives me stuff back.
Yeah.
So I not only do I use the Coral on my turn to get follow up because all my stuff's 1-card starters, I use the Coral again because I equip it and they out it or I nib myself, so I have a starter and extender to fully kill them, and they usually have nothing left at that point.
Yeah. So nib into follow up. Yeah.
Yeah, nib's insane. It's good against everything. I wouldn't take it out. It's not good against SPLO, but everything else is really good against. 3 Imperm. This card is mandatory. The drawback with playing it in this deck is that so you have 2 link 4s that you make. One's a negate and one's like a heat soul that draws. Drawing this with the heat soul sucks ass. That's the only bad part of this card. But other than that, Imperm's Imperm needed. That's it for the hand traps. I played 12 hand traps and I played 3 droplet for going second cards. This deck has a really hard time going second, so you need to play all the best going second cards and hand traps that you can. If you play against Despia and lose a dice roll, this is your out to whatever they summon off Branded Fusion, which is usually their Chimera. I had to play against Despia and Top Cut, and I did some Yugi Moto shit, and I basically played through all their shit. The Chimera came out, I dropleted it, but in doing all my interactions with them, I traded with them 1 for 1, so I had nothing left. Like, I traded for all his interactions with my interactions, but my last card was Desires, and I fucking slammed that shit down, and I drew the Chaos Dragon card and the Telly card. So I was able to finish my combo and win because of that.
Heart of the cards.
Yeah, it was some heart of the cards shit. 3 of the E-Telly. It's also a Monster Reborn. The E-Telly effect is only an E-Telly when you control the field spell, but nonetheless, like, just if you draw 1 monster and you link it into your blue slug, for example, your link 1, and they stop it, and you have this, you can finish the combo. Like, you only really need 1 monster, like, to do the full combo. This deck's nuts. And then this card, it's ass, but you play it because you need to. There are scenarios where I've drawn unplayable, like 5 hand traps in a droplet, and I just had to kind of bank on the mining or starter top deck. I'm playing 41, so that shouldn't happen too much, but it unfortunately just does once in a while. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! All decks do it, but it's necessary evil. I side this garbage out, though. A lot. 2 Desires. It's really nice in this deck. The only thing that hurts to banish is your field spell, which I played 2 of. This is what gives you your towers. Basically, what this card says is when you link summon a Marincess in the extra deck zone, you can equip up to 3 Marincess dudes. And if I use the link 2 Crystal Heart as a material, it is effectively a towers. So not only does this give it a towers effect, it pretty much boosts anything I make by 2,000. So my towers I make will typically be like 43, 4,600 attack, depending on which one I make.
Yeah, so pretty much better than towers at that point.
Yeah. A lot of people don't play that too because they feel like you can recycle it and it's easy to get. But there's been situations where I have the Desires before I resolve the effect to search this.
Right.
And I don't want to banish this card. You don't need this to win by any means. You really don't need the field spell to win, but it's really, really nice to have. And if you have this in your hand already, like you hard draw this, the card that searches this says search any spell. So I can search the E-Telly instead if I hard draw this.
Yeah, and super low odds that you'll draw both of them opening hand, so might as well.
I have not yet.
Yeah.
In all my testing and tournament play, I have not drawn 2, ever. Duster, the deck sucks at going second, and our worst matchup is glue decks. And when I say glue, I mean stupid-ass Eldritch with Goes and Mash and Tiki Boo, or not goes in match obviously, but Tiki Boo and Skill Drain, all those type of cards.
Yeah.
Call by the Grave, you need to play it. Amazing going first or second, especially against Despia. Yeah, nice Branded and Red Target, bro. And Wave, this card is horrible going second, but it's so good because it's not once per turn. So if I'm in this, so what this card says is if I control a Link monster or a Marincess Link, I can activate it from hand. And it's a negate, a monster negate, and then if I have Link 2 or higher, all my dudes become unaffected and become towers on resolution, which is cracked.
That's fire.
But I can't use it going second. But since it's not once per turn, if I am in this scenario where I'm breaking the board and have 2, and I put a Link on board, then I can just negate their whole board. But that seems very niche. And you can also search this and add this, or recycle it from your grave effects. So I only felt like one was necessary. That was the main deck.
So 41? Yeah. All right, let's do that extra.
Yeah, let's go to the extra deck. Okay, so with the new stuff, you make this a lot more. Frog, cards cracked.
Nice foreign.
Shout out Splight. What was that?
Nice foreign.
A nice German frog.
Splight's gonna be fucking horny, bro. I'm hyped.
One Shark for summoning the Toad. Then I play 2 Sea Angel. It's a Link 1. It gets your field spell or your E-Telly. If you have a good hand, you usually want to chain block this with your Springtail Grave effect to mill and burn, or your Wu-Tang effect to Pot of Duality for you. This is Blue Slug, part of the combo. What this card says is when it's Link Summon, you just add a Marincess monster back to your head. And then I play one, what is this, the Crystal Heart? Yeah, this is Crystal Heart. Looks like Shithana without skin. You make this, and then you make your whatever you want in the extra deck zone, and it becomes unaffected as long as you have the field spell. So this is for facilitating towers plays. One Aria, because making Bahamut Shark with a Moye I steal from this is insane.
Oh yeah, that's spicy as fuck.
This deck is like the Sword Soul Slayer, and yeah, I just put this in just literally for that line to play too. And for whatever reason, your opponent's Halki Fibrax doesn't get banished for cost to summon a TG Wonder Magician. Summoning Halk off this is pretty crazy, because all the Link 4 Marincess cards say it's generic waters. So I can steal a Halk with this Water Charmer and then make one of my Marincess Link 4s. Splash Mage. People who play Sal or have seen Sal, they know what this card does to Reborn. It's so good in this deck or it's extra good in this deck because there's an archetype specific Splash Mage in this deck, but the restrictions aren't as bad as Splash Mage. It says just Reborn anything with 1500 or less to its own. You can bring back the Splash Mage with your Coral Anemone and then get another body.
That's crazy.
Which is correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And here's the Coral. So this comes up a lot where you summon the Splash Mage underneath the Coral, and then you Splash Mage because it's not negated when Coral brings it back to bring another body. So that's just sick. Also, this card is what adds you your shit back, any Marincess card. So on your turn, when you go through the combo, you get an add back for follow-up, and you also will equip this to your towers. So when they decide to, or if they're able to out the towers, or you manipulate the game state in a way to skip the sent to the grave, like sending this for droplets or something, then you get another add back to kill them. And then I play this guy. He comes up sometimes. All he does is just add stuff back. He's a Link 3. If I have too many bodies and need more resources and clear the board, I'll make this, but I don't know. Other than that, he doesn't really come up. He's just for weird niche combos. And this card is fucking crazy. This is, other than the main deck juice, this is probably the best new card for the extra deck, for the archetype. It's a Link 3. What it does is, the first effect on field is to pitch a water, or Marincess, I should say, and go grab it. Is it a water? Let me see. Yeah, it's actually one water. I don't play the deep sea angler shit, but if you decide to play the fish package in this deck, you can dish the fish cards off of this. But anyway, this searches your trap, the Marincess trap, but its grave effect is why it's so good. When your opponent is the only person with a monster, so if they clear your towers or whatever, and you don't have anything left, and you set your grave up with this in it, this can banish itself and bring back a Link 2 and a Link 1. Well, you can bring back anything that equals to Link 3. So typically you'd bring back the Squirrel and then a Link 1 or something. Yeah. And what the Coral says is it's not on Link Summon. The Coral is a once per turn effect. So you bring this back and you can reborn. So you basically get 4 bodies off of this card because of this reborning and then whatever you bring back with it. And then and the other Link one you reborn. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so off of nothing, you get 4 bodies essentially.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. And then this is one of the Link forwards that you will typically make at towers. It's a heat soul. You banish and draw. You banish a water and draw in each standby phase.
That's
all it does.
Both standby or just yours?
Either one.
Oh wow, it's crazy.
It's really crazy. Yeah, you can also summon Marincess from your banish zone, but you pretty much just heat soul, make this a towers, and draw a bunch of cards. And here is the negate, and one of the other new ones. So what this one does is it targets one of its equips, special summons it, and then negates a spell or trap. And it's not activation; it's effect. So if their bitch ass uses Rite of Azimir on you, and you negate it, they can't do it again, which is nice. And you typically will be bringing this back with this from your equip zone. That is the extra deck.
It seems like all the links have like a lot of synergy together.
They do. I mean, 2 of them alone will add these both recycle and add stuff back, and this is going to add back for you twice on your turn and on your opponent's turn. And you're gonna bring it back and reborn. Like, this card just gives you so much value.
And the Link 4 is gonna be a Towers Pot of Greed, just unlimited advantage.
Yeah, it's insane.
Let's see that side
that's
deck.
It for that is it for the extra. My side deck I'm pretty happy with it, but I think I need more removal for spell and trap. I need more removal somehow. I think 3 draw. This card's crazy. I should probably really consider maining this at this point. I'm going to see what the meta's looking like by the time we head out to Nats in a couple weeks from now. Which, I mean, obviously it's going to be the same. But if for whatever reason I feel like I'm going to see way more punk adventure type things than a Despia or Sword Soul, which is probably the case.
Well, yeah, that and it seems like Flunder is coming back a little bit too, because it's a helmet deck, and like people feel like they have a better chance of consistently doing well with that deck just because it's so helmet. You have an Omni Negate, you have special summon negators. Like, I feel like you're going to see a lot of Flunder.
Flunder's. I'm citing this mainly because I respect the Flunder, and it just happened that during the last however amount of time, the punk synchro shit's been really catching on. Droll shits on that deck. Shits on Despia too. I might main this, but either way, I think Droll at 3 has to be a part of your deck, whether it's in the side or the main.
Agreed.
2 token Khaleesi. I only play 2 because drawing multiples is dog shit, and my deck mills. So
yeah,
if I draw it and mill it, that's neg. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Springtail effect, the Chaos Dragon one. Its effect says if I link for a water, I can mill up to the amount of Marincess monsters I control on the field. So if I do full combo and save the effect to the end and reborn it and just link it away randomly, I can mill like 5 cards and just hit this.
Insane.
Oh yeah, and it burns too. It burns for every Marincess card milled, so it comes up in time. That card I was just talking about, the Springtail shit. Dark Ruler, said earlier, this deck has a really tough time going second. I'm playing this paired with Droplet. It was only really ever good for me against... When was it good for me yesterday? Let me think. I might have to take this shit out. It's actually...
I mean next format, it'll be fucking good next format, but...
Yeah, next format it'll be better. I didn't play too much giant build-a-board stuff over the last couple of days.
No Chisho, Barone, none of that?
When I play the Sword Soul deck, I'll put in like 2 of these, maybe 1, and I'll keep the Droplet in. Yeah. I feel like I should probably change this, actually, because I'm never siding all 3 except against like decks like Drytron that are putting up Vanity's Ruler, which I did play in the finals, but I didn't let him get that far. 2 Lightning Storm. I'm only playing 2 because Anti-Spell is in everyone's side deck, and playing all 3 without pairing it with another removal is just not a good idea. So
if you're going second and they just flip Anti-Spell in the draw or standby and you have Lightning Storm, you just like cry. Like that's why you need Twin Twister.
That's the story of my life when I was playing 3 of this. So yeah, I've been pairing this with Twin Twisty for that exact reason. I might even have to play 3 after.
Yeah, like Chain, pop their Floodgate, pop their other set. Like it's so good.
So actually, so real quick. So out of all my matches or all my tournaments and matches I played, I actually lost one match the entire time, and it was yesterday. I lost in Swiss to Elkledge. It was a game 3. He opened very poorly, and all he had was skill drain Judgment and the Golden Lord Forever card, and he like did something funny and sent a set Pot of Extravagance to summon his Golden Lord back.
Oh my god!
Yeah, nothing.
That's
I baited the Judgment and the Forever out, but I could not play because I couldn't out the skill drain. And yeah, you just really need to be able to out cards like that, or you lose.
Maybe take out one Dark Ruler for Twisties.
Probably, or just take Dark Ruler altogether for Twisties. I don't know, but I'm going to play a third Twin Twister, I think, for Nats, and then
the God card.
God card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the fucking.
Yeah,
nuts.
that is. Yeah, you need this. It shits on Adventure, Despia. I sided it. Excuse me. I sided it anyway against like Sword Soul.
Yeah.
I mean,
stop the Emergence Desires. Plenty of stuff.
Stopping Emergence Desires and any side card.
Vessel, like anything.
Because they're going to put in like the storms usually. But yeah, that's the profile.
So you got anything else left to say? So you're going to Nat soon. What are your options for decks besides this?
My personal options I'm thinking about for Nats is between Marincess, Dragon Link with punk cards in it, or Sword Soul. Maybe even never mind. I'm not going to pick one. There's no.
Okay, so hopefully we'll be able to find out what you end up playing. So you recorded another profile. Would you mind shouting out what channel that will be on in the near future?
Yeah, it's going to be on Slim YGO's channel. Shout out to him. He usually does all the local profiles out in the Southern Cali, LA, Inland Empire area. I feel like
anybody who's subbed to us will know who Slim YGO is. But in case you don't, fucking check it out within the next week or so for another profile. Yeah,
I got a bunch of profiles on there already, and my Marincess one will be up there soon. But yeah, I'm more than likely playing Marincess for Nats, I think. This list won't be the same, obviously.
All right.
But yeah, thanks, bro.
Thanks, bro. Always a pleasure having you on the channel. Keep dueling. Sure. Sub, like, comment, tell him how gay he is.
Love you, brother.
Peace.